2-pounder to start the day. I'll take that. Second cast of the morning. Alrighty, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from. Welcome back to another episode of Bass All Year. Out here on another morning bite, quality morning bite here, Florida fishing. I got here at the butt crack of dawn, so I got on a really good school bite. And yesterday, when I was out here with Lane, we fished very briefly, very shortly. There was a huge storm that passed through, so a lot of pressure came through, and we were able to come out here and shoot. That big fish I hooked, man, I don't know how big that fish was. I haven't hooked a fish that big in quite some time. It was so big that I couldn't even turn it with 50-pound braid on a 7-foot heavy. So I'm back out here, and I've been waiting a while. A couple weeks now, I've been coming to Florida and fishing this lake, really trying to figure out the bite. And I kind of wish I was on Lane's boat, because I'm running across the lake in the old Minn Kota 40 thrust. So I got a little bit of a run ahead of me here. There's actually a pretty good school I'm about to run over. I'm just gonna hit the other side and go down that same lily pad line that I had hooked that monster at yesterday and try to see what we can do. Like I said, just briefly, I've really been busting my butt out here trying to get a good solid bite, and I'm really figuring out the lake. I'm really figuring out what these fish are doing. So we're gonna quit hitting this lake out in the pond probably today, try to catch some good ones and see what we can bring in the boat. Got a big fish here on a sexy dog. It's a 2-pounder to start the day. I'll take that. Second cast of the morning. Oh, come here, girl. Okay. I'll take that. Sexy dog right there. I want a nice little school this morning. And that's a 2-pounder all day. I caught that one just right here. There's a big school that sits off this though. It's about 20 feet deep out here. One of the fish from the schools come up and hit it. Bet you I can catch him on this fluke. Here's the white ice flukes from the Walmart vlog. Let's see if it'll grab one of these schoolies. One out of a school there. Little guy. Not exactly what we're after, but there's some big ones in that school. Like I said, it's in about 20 foot of water out there when we were on Lane's boat yesterday. And they're not very big schools. They're only like 4 or 5 fish schools. Got him. Little. Not too bad though. Saw him falling out from the pads. A little chunk though. He'll do. You know, when they're feeding this heavy and this active, this early, it's only about 6 o'clock. And I really do think that you can catch them on any color. I don't really think they're hitting it because it's white or it looks like a ghost minnow, whatever they're feeding on. I really just do think that they're reacting to a bait fish moving. I'm trying not to chuck a crankbait around. Now where I'm pulling into now is just kind of loaded with eelgrass. They haven't really been feeding too well on this side of the lake compared to the other side, but it's one of those spots where you hear of a lot bigger fish coming from is over here. Ah, man. You blew that thing right on that. There we go. Down that time. Although, I do not think this is the fish that hit the first time. little guy. Alright. I didn't even really get a good look at her. Okay, she's not that. She ain't that good. Let his head though. So I just let like a 2-pounder go. Let's see if I can get one to ignite on this sexy dog off this school. That's a good one. Get out of there. Get out of there. There we go. She's a good one. Come on, settle down. I'll take it. Good fatty. Look at that. Hook comes right out in the corner. Another bait I bought off the vlog. It's a sexy shad swimming fluke. Sexy shad swimming fluke. I was fishing that in fishing a lily pad line. And I let this submerge and brought it off the edge of the pads, and the girl smacked it. Not a bad fish. Definitely fat, man. She's got some stout fish there. Good old fat old belly to her. Alright, might be onto something now. Well, maybe not, because there goes my last trailer. Well, that's a jig fish. 3/8 ounce from Do It. Now in a 14-inch, I actually kind of expected it to be a little bigger, hitting it with a jig offshore like this, but I found some decent grass, so we're fishing the grass. Not a bad one. Almost came back in the boat. Let's see what we got for trailers though. In the jig box, I mean, at least I got a buoy out there, so I'm just free floating. That's the only thing about hooking fish on this pond probably, man, is it's hard to stay on an offshore spot unless you got a buoy out there. That one hit it real subtle, so I'm wondering if that's what kind of bite it's turned into. That was the first bite I've gotten in about an hour after I touched all those schools, or excuse me, after I caught that fish on the swim bait actually. Some valuable grass, I'm not really sure, but we'll see what happens. Tough bite out here though, it's definitely slowed down. Luckily we're starting to get a slight breeze compared to what I had. I mean, it's straight bluebird skies working with no cloud cover and very light wind. I mean, it's probably blowing 2-3 miles an hour if that. So just a light little breeze, feels nice, but out in the water just trying to figure out a good little technique, trying to pull these fish together and see what they're wanting, and about to go to ditch the jig bite, which the non-existent jig bite. I threw the jig for like a good 35-40 minutes and there was nothing. It's right below the boat. There, you see him? He's just been following the boat. It's crazy. Alrighty, I'm gonna ditch that turtle, let him be a turtle, do turtle things. I'm gonna get back fishing here. As I stated before, had to ditch the jig bite. I've got a hard jerk bait on now and a swim bait to throw, like I said, some of this matted cover. We'll try to dig up some fish, see what we can put together. Alright. Better one that we've gotten in the last 2-3 hours. We're grinding now, ladies and gentlemen. We are grinding. Casey came out and met me on the lake. That's the result. We're still fishing some offshore grass and stuff. I got that one on a speed worm, but we're trying. We'll try to make something happen, dig up. Still trying to fish a ton of offshore grass and see what less pressured fish can bring us. Woo! Well, I haven't caught a fish on a jerkbait in quite some time. This Eris Xfinity is an awesome little jerkbait rod, so I was trying it out in this deep, clear water. And smack, got this little guy. Definitely hitting quantities today. It's definitely not like last night where I was able to catch a 4-pounder. I've yet to run into a bigger fish than that 2-2 I caught this morning. That's a little jerkbait that came in one of the lucky tackle boxes, a little lunker hunt. Not exactly prime for out here. I'd like one that dives a little deeper, but it's catching a couple, little guy. It was just straight junk fishing, trying to make something happen though. Just can't seem to find the quality fish today. I don't know what's going on. I've fished 6 different types of baits, and that's probably fished 20, maybe 25, and I just can't find where the bigger girls are at. Yesterday, I was fishing the same techniques, getting similar results, but at least every couple, you know, you'd weed through 4 or 5 little fish to find a decent fish, 16, 17 inches, 2-3 pounders. Caught that 4-pounder, lost that big one, but something's different today. There's really no cloud cover, so the bluebird skies are killing us. Having fun though, catching tons of fish, and I know we're gonna run into a good one here shortly, so let's get back at it. Hey, little guy. Oh, get your fluke out. There's a couple with them. Get your fluke out. There were a couple fish with them. Yeah, jump in there. There you go. Now a little 12-incher. Trying, guys. I'm trying to find the big one. Dancing for us. Smacked him in the corner. Fish number 30 or 35. I thought that one was honestly like a 2-pounder. The way he hit it, I mean, he wanted to eliminate this thing, and I really thought he had a little bit more weight to him, but that's all right. We'll keep searching. All right, y'all, so this is the biggest of the day. Little 2-2 that I caught earlier on the swim bait. We'll let him go. We're gonna hop off the lake here. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. We're cooking, so let this fish go first off. He gone. It was a fun day, like a 35, maybe 40 fish day. Like I said, that was the biggest fish of the day at 2-2. But I've touched a ton of offshore grass. We've touched lily pads. We've hit Kissimmee grass. We've really hit everything that I know on the lake, and it's a little slow right now. But maybe we'll come back in the evening, see if we can hit the bite that we had last night, which was some pretty good stout fish, because the grass offshore isn't fishing that well. Really, since like 9 o'clock. I think once all those offshore schooling fish kind of quit, that I think the bite was over. So we're gonna head in. We'll talk to you guys at the truck.